Hello, people of the internet. This is the Galaxy A70. It's a glorious phone, and this was supposed to be a review of the Galaxy A70. However, it got crashed between my car and the car door, and now it's waiting for repairs. However, considering all of the global pizdias that's happening right now, I have a feeling it's not going to be fixed anytime soon. So, because of that, I've been using this glorious dinosaur. Let's go. So this here is the Samsung? No, this is not a Samsung. So this here is the Sony Xperia Tipo, released all the way back in the year when the world was supposed to end, also known as 2012. It was my very first Android smartphone. I used it for almost 3 years. And actually it's kind of nostalgic for me to use it again, but I definitely do not enjoy it. So, spec-wise, it has a single-core Snapdragon S1 clocked to a glorious 800 MHz, half a gigabyte of RAM, some 3 or so gigabytes of storage, a 3.2-inch screen with a resolution of 320 by 480, 1500 mAh battery, yeah, it's kind of broken, and a 3 megapixel camera. It has no back cover because it kinda broke. So how is it to use the phone today? Well, it's a pain in the butt. That's all I can say. Goodbye. Jokes aside, it's not unusable, that's for sure. However, it is like on the very edge of being usable. For example, it tends to crash apps. It once literally forgot to ring my alarm. The alarm was set to 8 a.m. and when I woke up, I had a feeling it's not 8 a.m. and when I picked up my phone, Tipo, it said at 6:15 for a few seconds and then I switched to like 8:30 a.m. and then the alarm rang. Yeah, tells you a lot. All jokes aside, however, when the phone came out and when I got it, it actually was a pretty good phone for its time. It had a pretty good screen. One of the biggest selling points of the phone was the fact that it came with Android 4 out of the box. Ice cream sandwich, baby! Today, it's a really big disadvantage. For example, when you go to the Play Store, once it loads, and I am using mobile data for reasons I will explain soon. Once it eventually loads, you may or may not notice that quite a lot of apps are missing or are just way too optimistic. For instance, I got suggestions for Free Fire and I'm pretty certain that Free Fire will not work on this heaping pile of plastic. Yes, that's a word. A lot of apps or games will not work for 2 reasons: operating system and storage. See, this phone manages its storage in a very odd way. Once you go to storage, you'll see that there are 2 partitions: phone memory and internal storage. And yes, this phone does support up to 32 gigabytes of expandable storage, and right now there is no any. However, once you try to download an app, it goes directly to phone storage, phone memory. And as you can see, with only like 2 or 3 apps installed, it's almost full. And some apps can be partially transferred to internal memory. I had this phone rooted for pretty much all the time I had it, about that later, and it kinda allows you to move an app entirely to internal storage. However, that wasn't the most perfect solution and it did sometimes cause the phone to behave in very odd ways. Anyways, the apps that do work is Chrome, Facebook Lite, Messenger Lite, Poe, Gmail, very slightly, and a very old version of Gmail, and I'm not going to open it for pretty obvious reasons because mail, and your basic apps that come with the phone. For instance, YouTube does not work. Once you open YouTube, it asks you to update YouTube. Once you go to update YouTube, it says it's not supported. Like, see, a new version of YouTube is available. You press install now, you go to the Play Store, and you can't. There is no update option. The version that ships with like the vintage version of YouTube, with the YouTube writing on it, it doesn't work like at all. It doesn't load any videos. And I just realized I've been using this like this. I should have been using it like this. Other usability features. It's very sluggish. When, for instance, opening Facebook, it actually opens Facebook relatively fast. I can't really ask much about it, but you know, it works. Chrome, on the other hand, no, just like it takes ages just to open Chrome itself, and once you try to load a page, for instance trying to open Instagram, it takes ages. Let's try, I don't know, a local news portal. As you can see, typing out this thing is definitely a challenge and something I will tackle soon. And this is a simple news portal, by the way, just articles and a few ads, nothing else. Why am I using mobile data? Is because in my room Wi-Fi signal is kinda it's not the best, and other phones like the A70 and the S6 and my laptop, they work fine here. They do know that the signal is kinda crap, but they work. This phone, however, it just does not work at all with Wi-Fi in my room. And as you can see, it's kinda loaded. It took about a good 30 seconds or so. If I try to open an article, it's probably the point where it just runs out of RAM and it crashes. It still didn't load the ad, there's like an ad spot, and there it goes. As you can see, it's still trying to open the article. And there it goes. I get this a lot on this phone. Now, typing. Oh boy. As you can see, this is a very small keyboard. When swipe works as it should, typing, it's not the worst experience, it's pretty bad still, but you know, as you can see, you can get a few quick sentences written down. But once you try typing, like without swiping, oh boy. However, when you try to type very fast, it just poops itself. Once you try it slow, however, it mostly works. When you type slow, it works. Get my point. Other super duper ultra cool features of the phone. Battery life. When this phone was new, it was okay, and one of the biggest things, one of the main reasons why the battery life is good is because there's literally nothing to use the battery. I mean, the screen, the brightness is yes out of yes. It gets bright outside, is pretty useless for the single core chip. So in real life, I can get a day on a single charge. Not because the battery is great, it's because there's not a lot I can do on it to use the battery. In real life, I get about 2 to 3 hours of screen time before I have to charge, which really ain't a lot. Camera, you're probably wondering how it looks like. It sucks, and as you can see on my particular phone, there's a pretty deep groove or cut here, because reasons, and makes the camera pretty much useless. However, I will pull up some photos from that's how you English. From Google Photos, and again, for its time, it was okay. And that generally sums up the phone. It had a pretty good screen, even though it's plastic and it's just scratch resistant. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the phone is pretty damn scratched. I mean, there's even phone missing here. The screen is okay, it has okay viewing angles. Actually, all except this angle, it's pretty good. The colors are mostly good. As far as the camera, the colors are mostly washed out, pretty inaccurate, no autofocus, no selfie camera, video records up to 480p. Again, there's not really much else to say about this phone. It has a headphone jack, but to use a headphone jack you have to plug in the headphones, reboot the phone, and once you're done using the headphones you have to take them out and reboot the phone again. And that takes literally ages. One of the good things about the phone is rooting. When I had the phone, I rooted the hell out of it, bricked it a few times, installed Android 5, Android 6, well, customized versions of said custom versions of said operating systems for this phone. It definitely was an experience. So, to sum it up, for this time, pretty good. Today, however, it's pretty much useless. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please do suck a bit.